Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And I am having a hard time talking.
That's okay.
I'm like,
I'm a blah, 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 see?
like when we did the test, we always do a test beforehand, and I fucked that up.
No, it was
like, blah, 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 blah.
It was a very good time.
Yeah. But anyway.
Here we are, Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking December 1st.
December 1st.
That's
it
crazy.
is almost 2025. We're almost halfway through the 20s.
Look at our wall's not as boring.
Yes. We've been talking for
How is that the
months
most
about
boring decoration
putting
right
a
now?
backdrop. Didn't happen. But we're going to have to move studios again anyway. The beautiful thing about a podcast is it really doesn't matter. You have a little device, a screen, a computer.
That's it.
Some microphones. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was all right. It was good. We were in Oregon and just, hung out with Alicia's family. Her mom was there. It was the first time we've got to have Thanksgiving with her.
That's pretty fun.
So it was cool. It was actually a really good time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just fucking, how a lot of food.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of too much eating.
Yeah, it's there's that point because there's so much food, so much. We go to my parents' house, and sorry,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not hearing myself.
He's like, I can't
Sorry,
hear
I
myself.
can't hear myself talk.
I can hear you talk.
Whatever. So my parents' house, they had a ton of food. There were like a couple nights I went home, just like that stuffed, gross feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, I ate too much.
Was it nice to have Thanksgiving with your mom and them?
Amazing. It's always wonderful.
Yeah.
They leave. They come back. They go to Arizona. They come back for Thanksgiving. Then they leave again.
Are they still here or are they left?
They're going to be here for about another week.
Okay.
Next weekend, we'll do our little family Christmas type deal with them.
Nice.
And then they'll leave for Arizona, and then they come back at the end of March.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's really nice. It's very relaxing. It's like there's something about, as a teacher, we get half the week off, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of work leading up to that point. We do our parent conferences, and then as soon as parent conferences are done, the next day it's like a half day.
Oh, yeah.
Half day. And it just gets you in that mood to just slow down and just enjoy.
And that's the hard thing to do sometimes is just slow it down and just, take that moment to kind of enjoy the holiday. It was weird because I didn't cook much this year. Like Alicia, she does like a green bean casserole, which is really good. But usually I'll do like a mac and cheese, and I didn't make it this year. It was her niece.
You weren't hosting, so
yeah. But I was like, I look forward to doing that.
Yeah.
But her mac and cheese was actually really good. I was like, oh, this is
nice.
I think you might have to do this again.
Yeah. Did she have the breadcrumbs on top?
She didn't do the breadcrumbs, but it was just nice and cheese, like a nice cheesy.
Yeah. She got some Gouda in there.
I think the noodles were cool because it was a spiral. Like macaroni noodle, like a spiral one.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah. The food was all good. Alicia's sister's boyfriend, George, he made like stuffing and some other stuff. And I'm usually not a stuffing fan.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I don't hate it, but it's, I do not like it. But his was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuffing and jellied cranberry sauce are two of my staples.
See, we never do cranberry sauce, but I had cranberry sauce before.
Jellied. If it doesn't look like a can, it's not.
Yeah, for reals.
I mean, seriously.
But I had some before, and it's actually good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just not something we've ever done, and I know we did it growing up. I think I don't know if we did. Yeah. We probably did, but I don't think I ate it then.
Gotcha.
You know how your taste buds are weird.
No, I didn't as a kid. I thought it was gross, but then I got older, and boy, got that
slurp it down.
Yeah, slurp. I mixed it into vodka. No.
Gross.
So my dad the next day, so Friday, every year, it's like a tradition now, he takes all the leftovers and he makes panini sandwiches on like a panini press.
Oh, that's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, Blanca loves it. Like, it's just a nice thing. So after, Thanksgiving we spend together, and then the next day we get back together, and it's a good time. Good time.
Oh, yeah. No, it's always good. I should do that. Make some of that. I know they made enchiladas when we were over there. Rice, fucking, it was a little of everything. It felt like
nice, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's so interesting because we go to Louis, Blanca's mom's in the early morning. So not early morning, but like 11.
Yeah.
So we spend a little bit of time with them because they don't really do all day stuff,
Yeah.
But her stuffing is made with cornbread.
Oh.
Like a cornbread base. So it's really interesting because hers is more of like a sweet stuffing.
Oh,
my mom does like the regular like Stofers or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
the traditional.
The sausage and like breadcrumb base.
Did you say sausage?
Yeah, there's sausage in it.
Huh.
Oh, it's good.
I think I've had it like that.
Yeah, sauce. Very, very good stuff.
I feel like that'd be flavorful, actually.
It is packed. That's why I love it. I love it.
That's how this was. I thought, like, he had put carrots in it and some other stuff, and it was good. I was actually like, damn, dude.
Yeah. And the turkey gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
The mashed potatoes.
Yeah, so we went to go shopping when we got there to go, get some of the more food for dinner or whatever, have you, the next day. So we went to go to this Walmart. And over there in Oregon, they have these Walmarts, but they're called neighborhood Walmarts. So they're more like a traditional, like, small grocery store.
Like a neighborhood corner store type deal?
Sort of, yeah. It's like a Yolks, right?
Oh.
It's like about that size of a Yolks. It's very small.
And it's just the groceries?
Mostly groceries. It has a little bit of, like hair products, stuff like
wild.
that. But you can't go there and buy like a car battery or fucking...
Yeah, you're not going to go and find the super...
Or toys and do all that stuff. So it's more like that. But it kind of... I felt like it was more expensive. But then it was also didn't have as much.
It's a boutique.
It's like fancy. It's a bougie ass fucking Walmart.
Yeah.
It was trash. Pass the trash. Trash.
Yeah.
No. It was cool. But yeah, it was a weird Walmart.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got like potatoes and stuff and get all that stuff. I love mashed potatoes.
I went like a tiny, like a 1900s, like early 1900s Walmart grocery store with an old man like sweeps every morning.
Just right off the front.
The oranges are just sitting outside.
That'd be cool.
Right.
Third world country, probably Walmart like that.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to a Walmart.
Fucking
get out of my store, kids. And the mob guy comes around and is like, give me some money.
That'd be badass.
You better be
you park your horse and carriage right there.
Yeah, right. Yes, you have to.
Because you can't show up in a car because that would be illegal.
Portland. I mean, if you want to be eco-friendly,
you're not lying. We're in Gresham, which is just on the outskirts. Gresham's actually not bad. It's a nice little town. It's smaller. Yeah. It feels more like a
little more rural.
Yeah, just it doesn't feel as busy. Like when you go to Portland, even on the outskirts of Portland, when you're in like
bustle of Portland,
when you're in like Clackamas and in those areas, it's still very packed. It feels like traffic everywhere.
Yeah, like, one thing on top of another thing.
Yeah. So over there, it feels good, and you just drive. There's stores. We went to a couple stores here and there yet the other day, and we didn't do like shopping or anything crazy, but I don't know. But before we went, me and Tom had a little interview with a lady.
We did, yeah. We had Kimberly Grustas came on. And we kind of mentioned her before. She has a company, Good For You Girl, which really focuses on Good For You Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plural.
Anyway, it's a great company. She focuses on products that are healthy for young girls. So she made it clear, not makeup type products.
No, it was personal care. What did she say?
Hygiene type.
Personal care items.
Personal care, maybe not hygiene.
Yeah,
personal care.
I think that's how she said it.
I think like face creams and stuff like that.
Oh, everything. Deodorants. Face creams, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it was really interesting talking with her. She had some real insights on raising girls and talking to girls and all that kind of stuff. So we will roll that tape and let you guys hear from Kimberly herself.
Yeah, we'll go now. I'm Jesse and this is Tom. We're just Weirdly Blended. We're joined with Kimberly, and your last name is Grustas?
Grustas, yep.
Grustas. I've been practicing all day.
No, Grustas is the old Lithuanian. It's Lithuanian, so it is Grustas, but it's Grustas.
Grustas.
So you were technically right.
That's close. Well, awesome. And she's with was it Good For You Girls? Mm-hmm. And it's a product line of just healthcare and like facial. It's like facial wash and all that stuff, right?
Right. We say personal care, so it's face and body.
Okay.
No makeup. None of that. Just face and body.
Deodorant and all that. And
Yes.
nice.
Okay. And so what led you down that path? I mean, this is 2008 that you started your company, correct?
Yes.
So what was it that got you interested in this, or what were you seeing that made you decide to go this route with
Yeah.
the company?
So my background, I'm a creative director by trade. And my specialty is nutrition, sport nutrition, and health and beauty.
Okay.
So I was a fitness nut back in the day. So when I started my career, I was gravitating towards companies in the nutrition space.
Mhm.
So in the nutrition space, I was working with bodybuilders and fitness models and things like that. And I was working with ingestibles, so protein powders and amino acids and creatine and all that kind of stuff. So I was a woman in a man's world, which was super fun. And as a creative director, you have to study ingredients. You have to know, in order to market or talk about an ingredient, you have to understand what the function is in the body. So I was really a research geek, just because of the nature of my type of business.
Yeah.
So loved that fast paced. That company that I worked for sold. I went to work on the advertising agency side. They offered me a partnership shortly after because all these brands were coming out of the woodwork to hire me. So they offered me a partnership and I declined and I started my own agency in 2000.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So, yeah, so in 2000, I opened up my own shop. 4 months later, I was pregnant with my first daughter. So
Oh.
it's crazy, crazy time.
Yeah.
But she was born with severe asthma and allergies, and she had an upper respiratory condition, which actually she would not have oxygen saturation.
Oh,
Oh.
Her airways would go into spasm, and she would just go lethargic. She would just go like a wet noodle. And we were running to the emergency room for breathing treatments and EpiPens and things like that.
Wow.
So that was my first introduction to the chemicals that you're actually breathing.
man, that's
So yeah,
terrifying.
so it was really terrifying. So there were no candles, there was no scents, there was no fragrance, there was no perfumes. And she also had food allergies. So that was an education there. And I was the mom who, again, deep dive into the rabbit hole about what was really affecting her.
Mhm.
And, I was the mom with the EpiPen everywhere we went, kind of thing. And then we figured her out,
Mhm.
and it just became a way of life for us. And so 2 years later, her sister was born, my younger daughter, not quite, not the severe. She had asthma.
Hmm.
She
Mhm.
also had food allergies, but she had a hive disorder and she had eczema.
Mm.
Mm.
That really, again, another rabbit hole of the skin. Your skin is your largest organ.
Right.
65% of what we put on our body gets absorbed right into our bloodstream.
Mhm.
So that was really, again, we were just living our lives all by ourselves, not bothering anybody kind of thing. And then 2008, we were at Target and there was a bath set that was marketed towards girls. And
Hmm.
my older daughter was 8. She wanted it. She ran to it. She picked it up. I flipped it over and it was toxic.
Oh, geez.
And I was just shocked. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, is this? Because again, I was oblivious. I mean, I knew that the stores had nothing that I wanted on their bodies. And I
Mhm.
Yeah.
controlled everything that went in and on their bodies at this point. So I was just appalled. And I could not believe it was dyes, like four lines of dyes and synthetic this and synthetic that and preservative this and preservative that. And then I couldn't get it out of my brain. And then 2 weeks later, I was at Whole Foods, and a friend of mine had asked me, her daughter was 11. And so she recognized that her daughter at 11 really needed to start washing her face. And she knew I was sort of the expert in the category. So she asked me to help her find a product. Lo and behold, there wasn't anything.
Mm.
So as the marketing person, right, I came back to my office and I researched nothing. There was
Oh,
one line in Australia that was they're not no longer in existence, but there was one line in 2008 in
Yeah.
Australia that was clean specifically for this demographic. And I said, oh gosh, I said if anybody's going to do this, it's going to be me. With my
yeah.
experience with nutrition and then the health and beauty and just the sheer love for my daughters. And
Mhm.
if I was a mom who was looking for products, that were safe and clean for my girls, then I just knew that there were other moms that were
Yeah.
looking as well. And I came up with the name Good For You Girls in the Shower, just in
Uh,
case.
to fit in place.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
my best work in the shower.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Some shower
Right.
thoughts
You're
in
in the
there.
morning, your brain is, nice, from the sleep,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
working at
For
its
sure.
finest. And so, I think everything in my career and my life sort of led me here.
That's
And
awesome.
it's a journey that I just think it was determined for me. I don't think I had a choice.
Yeah. I noticed like when my daughter Elena, my 15-year-old, when she was younger, she would get eczema real bad. So we always had to switch. Me and my ex-wife now, we would go and get like anything like that was fragrance free, like detergent wise, because that's when I started seeing this kind of the similar things where whatever, is in those things kind of like seep through your skin almost.
Yeah, and
Um,
fragrance free doesn't mean there isn't fragrance in there as well,
yeah.
also.
Yeah, and it was like the all free and clear, I think, at the time, so it didn't have scent or anything, or it was supposed to be. And that I noticed when we used that, it would kind of like those bumps that she would get on our arms and stuff would be gone. But I think to have something like like soap and stuff would be, I think that's huge.
Have you
Yeah.
noticed, you know how things work? Something starts to catch on, and then everybody starts to throw products out, and some of
Oh
it's
yeah.
true and some of it's garbage. How are we coming along, do you think? Are we still in a world where a lot of stuff says that it's healthy and clean and it's really not, or are we getting better as time's going on?
There's more options available. It's just that consumers need to look for them,
Okay.
Mm.
right? Because you are going to be sold something that maybe is visually, that they're telling you it is, but it's really not.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but as consumers, we've never had this many really great options. There are some really good options for products. Convenience is not always the best choice.
Right.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
And we know that in mass market, specifically, a lot of the stores, they really just don't have a lot of that.
Hmm.
I'm a big, believer in the indie brands who are trying to do really great things. So, even if I find something, in a big box store and I think I'll go to the website, or if I find something on Amazon that I think's clean, I'll go to the company website, I'll look for the ingredient list. And, there's things that I think really should be regulated, especially in our food, that we
Mm,
are not
I agree.
regulating from companies or just having that disclosure. But I truly believe that the real change is with our wallets as
Hmm.
Yeah.
consumers. And we have to say, you know what? I can read a label. If I don't understand an ingredient, I'm going to investigate it. I'm going to see,
Right.
right? And not all ingredients with big words are scary, or
Sure.
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
even natural ingredients, they have, you have the botanical names for them, so they can seem scary, you
Yeah.
know, but they're not necessarily scary, so they're not scary. So I think we just have to be smarter consumers.
I agree.
Yeah, there's a responsibility on us as well, for
For sure.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what's crazy is I was just watching it was like a video or something. It was showing the different like ingredients between like food here in America and
Mhm.
food in other countries, and
Yeah.
it was mind blowing to see how much more crap we kind of put in our food here as opposed in like Europe or something. They actually
Yeah,
have a more
you're
like stringent
Yeah,
guidelines,
in
it
the
seems like.
EU, they have more stringent. And so I hope that we do adopt those things. But again,
Yeah.
if consumers are saying, I don't want that and not buying it, the
Hmm.
companies will stop manufacturing it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fortunately, though, the companies have years and years of those products in a warehouse, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
To get rid of and those kinds of things. You probably don't remember, and I like to use this as an example. Years ago, there was a scrub, and it was microplastics,
Mm.
Mm.
these little beads that were floating in the gel. I don't know if you
Yep, I
remember
remember
seeing
that.
I
those.
sure
Remember them?
do. Yeah.
Well, those were microplastics, and those went into the rivers and the oceans, and then now they're embedded in the sides of fish.
Oh,
Right. Those are the things that are in our brains now, from what I've
Right,
heard. Yeah. Right.
right. So,
Yeah.
the FDA said, okay, yeah, no more, none of these, microbeads. And of course, they gave the brands, I don't know, 5 years or
Mhm.
something to get rid of them. Instead of just saying, hey, stop it and pull it from the shelves, of course, these big companies have all this money invested in whatever. So
Right.
it was a bit of a negotiation, but it's like, oh, okay, yeah, keep going for 5 years. And then, of course, then we don't know how long that's going to, right? How long
yeah.
that's
And
Yeah.
then what are
So
they doing with that stuff afterwards? You know, like where's that going? Where how are they disposing of that?
yeah, yeah. Well, that's where all the hand sanitizer went after COVID too. Like, where did all the hand sanitizer go? That's a whole nother rabbit hole. But it is. And when I talk about girls, so puberty is the second largest growth in development for girls, next to infancy. And when we think puberty, our brains automatically go to the reproductive system.
Yeah.
The reproductive system is actually the last that happens in puberty. Puberty actually starts in the brain with the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland and the adrenal glands, which sit on the kidneys. So it affects everything from our blood to the brain development to our bone development, which is huge. They're getting their heartbeat, their adult heartbeat. Their bone growth is significant between the ages of 11 and 13.
Oh man.
They will grow the amount of bone during the ages of 11 and 13 that they will actually be losing in menopause,
That's
which is
crazy.
a
Wow.
really interesting fact. So you as a parent can say, yeah, that you don't know what you're doing for your daughter today will really affect her during menopause when you may not be around, to see that, right?
Right.
So, and 5 times their hips, their bones for their hips, it's 5 times the strength. So
Oh,
it's
man.
when you know that the all of their systems are affected, I think it also creates a lot of empathy.
Yeah.
That puberty really isn't something to suck up and get over. Puberty really is a superpower in girls. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of girls at a younger age who are going through this, who are really scared,
Well, yeah.
Right.
because they are not old enough, right? And, they really can't comprehend what's happening in their bodies. Again, the brain development, the myelin sheath, it can create a really scary outer body experience.
Hmm.
Well, it
Um,
seems like it happens fast too. Like that's
Yeah,
a
just
in
kind
a
of.
short period of time. Like
well,
the
what you
development.
don't realize is in, I always say like middle school, it's even before middle school, you'll see the emotional change. So where when they're little, they just kind of bounce around on the playground and it's not so
Mhm.
serious. They're friends with Susie today and then Sally the next day, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Then one day they come home and they're intense, right?
Mhm.
Friendships mean more, and right. So that's the cortisol. That's what we, yeah, you're both smiling because you
Oh,
know
that's
Yeah.
it,
the hard
right?
part. Yeah.
That's the difficult part. That emotional side. I feel like for
Where'd
me.
my little kid go?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so we it's intense because it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
right? As women, we are, we're we bear children. And if we did not have these intense emotional, connections to, other humans, we would give birth and leave it on the sidewalk, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that's
Would not be
unique,
good.
right? I mean, no. So there really is, the intensity is necessary.
Mhm.
And that's when you can really start as a parent, I think, talking to them about that intensity, giving them, we call it the cuddle chemical,
Mhm.
uh, the love hormone, the cuddle chemical. And when they're little, we call it the cuddle chemical. When they're teen language, right? That
Yeah.
attachment.
Yeah.
Um, so that's when the first time we can sort of talk about that. And if we're recognizing things that are a little out of, are a little too intense, we can give them the tools to sort of deal with that.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
walking away or taking 5 and going back tomorrow and see how it felt and really coaching them. And I'm a true believer that the earlier we start talking to our girls about the small stuff, about stinky armpits and pubic
Mhm.
hair and things like that, then the bigger subjects are a little bit easier.
Sure, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I was just
And
thinking.
kind of preparing them ahead of time, maybe a little bit, that this
Yeah.
stuff will come and it's natural and normal. And
It's,
when it does,
it's nothing to be afraid of.
yeah.
It's this is what this
Well,
is part
that's
of
that's
life.
the thing. There is
Yeah.
trauma. Yeah, there is trauma around
Yeah.
people, but they need to understand the whys.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like, right, again, your bones are right. Their bones, they will grow anywhere from 9 to 11, 2 3/4 inches a year,
Mm.
and from 11 to 14, almost 3 inches per year.
I believe that my daughter's tall. She's
Yeah.
15 and she's taller than our 17-year-old or 22-year-old. Like
Yeah.
she's
She's a
Yeah.
big kid.
yeah, yeah.
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 So when you can kind of understand, again, all of the systems that are affected by these amazing hormones, and the language around hormones should be that these things are happening for you rather than against you.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
think that's a conversation, right? So when women going through perimenopause, and again, I find it ironic that moms, girls are coming in and moms are going out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a whole lot. I think that's by design. I love that. And I think because I think it really brings them together within the communication. And we as, when women are going through perimenopause or menopause, we're blaming hormones.
Mm.
Well, we're actually mad because our hormones are leaving.
Mm.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Where girls are, their hormones are there coming in. And
Right.
so there's so much negative talk
Yeah.
from women in their lives about hormones that they're negative,
Hmm.
where we really need to set up our daughters that these chemicals and these hormones are incredible and what
Hmm.
they're doing for your body and what your body is doing is just really amazing. And so when we
It is pretty
change that,
incredible.
Yeah. I've
right?
never actually thought about it that way in the way you put that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally amazing. It's transformative, right?
Yeah.
So when we recognize that and we have empathy, a little bit off, we kind of get it. We say, okay, your melatonin is shifting. You can't sleep. It's 3 hours, like 3 hours that shifts their melatonin shifts. Their myelin, their brain is trying to grasp cognitive thinking. The synapses are going faster, right? And so there's little sensing out of control. Sometimes their brain is not connecting to their mouth, and all they can say is unpleasant things because their brain isn't catching up,
Yeah.
right? We've all
Yeah.
been there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No,
so
never,
Yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah. I've
right?
had to have some conversations with the older ones. I'm always like, I need you to go talk to the girls. Like,
So my younger daughter, my older daughter really did well with the brain mouth connection.
Uh,
She was very kind through this. She was very silent, so she had her internal struggles.
that's so
But
good.
my second daughter was a hornet. She just and yeah, and
Sounds like we
so
have similar daughters. I have
and
one quiet
I
one.
I of course recognized what was going on, right? So we came up with the word pickle.
Oh,
mm,
And so my mother used to say to me, are you in a pickle? Meaning you're in a jam, you're right, in a jam and a pickle.
yeah.
yeah.
And so we would use the word, we wouldn't use timeout like you use with children, like it's a timeout, everybody check a timeout, because that's a negative. So
Right.
we used the word pickle, which basically meant something's up. I know you can't get it out properly, so we're just going to stop.
Yeah.
And I
Just kind
would
of a
say
reset.
pickle,
Yeah.
it is kind of a reset. Or pickle for us meant I recognize that this is hormones, that this is something that you're struggling with right now. And it never got her out of the bad behavior, meaning later we would talk about it because, unkind words are always unkind.
Hmm.
But again, empathy was my goal.
Sure.
And it was so amazing because like I think she was 19 and she came to me and she said, "Mom, I'm sorry. I was so difficult, but I was hard on you because I knew you weren't going anywhere."
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was a kid who felt safe.
yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
And
Yeah. How is that impacting your relationship now that you said that they're in their 20s,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
No, I mean, is it
um,
allowing you to have a deeper relationship in their young adulthood?
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible. They are completely self-sufficient at 22 and 24. Um,
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
a big deal.
it is. It is.
yeah, they flew the coop already, but they are amazing communicators. They know I'm here, but it's so much fun. Like when I get together with them, or again, they're on opposite sides of the country, which is
Oh,
really, really hard. Um, but I love our relationship now. And I I always encourage moms too, when their daughters are through in the thick of it, again, going through puberty, you've got to be kind to you. right?
Yeah.
Moms always fall to the bottom of the barrel, right? And
Mhm.
if you get your kids to the age of puberty, you've done a pretty darn good job, right? They're
Mhm.
still,
Yeah,
they're,
they're
you
alive.
know,
You're doing
they're
something
alive,
right.
everybody's good. So, and moms really kind of neglect themselves a lot during the young days.
Mhm.
So
That's
when they reach that age of puberty and there are so many things to connect on, I always like to remind the moms, this is your time to reclaim you. So
yeah.
if you've neglected your self-care, if you've neglected your diet or your good eating or whatever, use that as a reminder and use those next couple years before your daughters are away at college or moving out because that goes by so fast.
Oh, it
Hmm.
And
does.
it's when you've got that empty nesting and you're sitting there again being everything for everybody and then you're going, okay, yeah, now what, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's so we have to wean ourselves, right?
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I think it's I equate it to like when a man retires, a
Mhm.
lot of times we hear that men feel deflated and they don't have purpose and they can get depressed because
Sure.
Yeah. I could see
nobody
that.
needs them
Yeah.
right anymore. But when you're a mom, when your kids leave, when you're an empty nester, I think that's your retirement. That's when truly, that depression can set in about your
Yeah.
purpose. So
Man.
those years leading up to that, I think are crucial. And that's where the communication skills between you and your children are really critical.
Yeah, and between spouses and partners too, to be
Yeah,
ready
for
for
sure.
that.
To have that
Huge.
conversation with each other and
Yeah.
be able to be like open with each other. I know me and my wife will have those conversations every now and then about, you got to focus on things you need to do, and there's our
Well,
kids
it's
are doing
easy
their
for
thing now, so it's
Yeah,
like,
it's easy for women for again, I looked at my husband and say, okay, now what? Like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Like, okay, now what, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it is. I mean, we need to fill that void somehow. And even though we know
Mhm.
we've done a phenomenal job, there is that void.
Right.
So,
Well, so much of our time is spent on our kids,
yeah.
thinking
right.
about them, worrying about them, getting them things, running them places.
And
And then,
I find my wife, even with our 22-year-old, she's out of the house. She's, engaged and living, a little whiles back, a little ways away. But my wife's still trying to, hey, what do you need? What can I do for you? And like,
Yeah, that'll never go away. I mean, I
yeah,
think that's wonderful.
yeah.
That's what, that'll never go
no,
away.
I don't
Right.
think so. Which is
Yeah.
good. She feels,
Yeah.
but they used to have that a relationship where it was kind of dicey when she was going through her, I think, puberty. Now that
Mhm.
that you explained it, but I think the way my wife was, she's pretty open and honest about things, and so now the relationship is it's so much better because there was that open line of communication, I think.
Yeah, you don't realize how early it begins. And I think the safety is a huge thing. So if this is falling on anybody who still has little kids or, they have to feel safe
Hmm.
in in you
Mhm.
and your support to them. That makes a really strong, secure human.
Yeah.
And it's really hard when they are emotional and they are grumpy, because again, they have that or they're pushing you away. And we now know that studies show that the harder they push, the more you're supposed to hold on.
Sure. That
And
makes
it's like
sense. Yeah.
a right, and it's like a roller coaster ride. It's like,
It
you get
really
that
is.
you get that tight grip, but it's so worth it. But it's hard to tell somebody when they're in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's hard to
Right.
tell somebody when they're in it that okay, you got to hang on because all you want to do is let go and say, oh yeah, you're right, like get out of here, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard.
So, kind of on that topic, then, like we talk a lot on our podcast about the reality of life, and we have bad days. There are
Yeah.
days that you're ready to be the perfect parent, to hear them out, and there are days where you're so wiped that you really don't handle things well.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
what's your advice for situations where you screwed it up? You said the wrong thing. You know that your reaction was awful. Where do you go from there? How do you repair that or work through that?
Yeah, I am fortunate, again, being a working mom, that they were never insulated from my good days and my bad days.
Yeah.
They'd come in my office and I'm on the floor crying, or, they always saw that, but they always saw the power of a woman, I suppose, right? And
Yeah.
their dad owns his own business too. So, both of us are entrepreneurs doing our own thing. So there was a little bit of osmosis. I mean, they were working trade shows with me and, since,
A lot of
6 and 8 years,
involvement, sounds
a
like.
lot of involvement. So they saw that. But yeah, there's a lot of screw ups. Um, it's humbling and you just have to apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a podcast once and they asked me what my finest moment, what's the best moments as a mom and the worst moments as a mom. And wow, that's tough. And you think, but it's literally apologizing and begging and saying, just forgive me because I am human.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
the realization I had with my own parents, sadly used to be a lot more judgmental of them than I am today. And the second I had a child was the moment that I said, wow, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like you're saying, the ability to acknowledge to your kid that being a human is not an easy thing, no matter what age. And you
Yeah.
get things wrong and you're not
right. But
perfect.
but remember, they don't look at you as human when
No,
they're
they
little,
don't.
right? They don't. And so that is a difficult transition for them. And a lot of times when they get to that point, it can be scary for them, right? They realize that, oh my gosh, you have no idea what the hell you're doing. So, right? We're just figuring it out. But
Yes.
my mother actually said to me, I am me before I'm your mom.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
didn't say
Yeah.
that until later. And you're like, you're right. And I think our children, I mean, they watch us. You don't realize how much they watch you,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
again, this is again during puberty. So again, reminding the moms, right? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you right? It's
Right.
relationships, like you guys know. How is your relationship? How are you treating your wife? How's your wife treating you? They're seeing all of those things and those behaviors.
Yeah.
So I think admitting that we struggle or if we're having issues, I think that is super important.
Mhm.
Um, and also calling out, like when they are again old enough, we reprimand them as little, when they're little, but calling out, like, where are you struggling with this, right? What's going on in
Yeah.
your head? What you Because we can recognize that bad, what's going on? What did you see? What did you hear?
Right.
Because they don't usually respond to things without some sort of trigger,
Right.
Yeah.
right? There's something going on there. And you have to sometimes just dig deep.
Yeah.
And their faces are in their phones. They're really distracted. So we are doing them a huge, disservice by not communicating with them,
Yeah.
not giving them
Absolutely.
downtime to be in their own heads.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. And your girl dads, intuition, a woman's intuition. We've all heard it, right?
Mhm.
A woman's intuition is developed during these years, these formative years.
Yeah.
They have to be quiet. They have to be in their head. They
Mhm.
have to think. They have to be given permission to just shut it all out and
Sure.
just be alone with their thoughts to process these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because
And
they
that
are
and that's hard
growing.
to do sometimes as a parent when you see that too, to just be like, okay, just I'll let you do you.
Yeah, but you're right about modeling things and modeling behaviors.
Yeah.
It's not innate for people to figure out how to communicate. I mean, us as the grown adult men
Yeah.
don't always do the best job
No.
communicating. And that metacognition of understanding your thoughts and your processes is not the most natural thing. So, yeah,
Yeah.
showing your kids how to do it, giving them experiences with it, giving them time to think and reflect. That's
Well, you know what happens? We do so much with them when they're little, right?
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, at an age, we're just dropping them off and they're running out of the car door, and we pick them up and we're like, right, right. And it's like we are no longer involved,
Right.
right? So we have to create that opportunity where we do have something special. So whether it's cooking or right again downtime
Mhm.
or those I love the idea of meal prep and cooking. Again, you've got only a few years before they're in college, and
Yeah.
you got to teach them a few skills before they are, they got to learn those things before they're gone. And some kids go to college without even knowing how to do their laundry, which I think is crazy.
Right.
Uh, but
Good
so
luck, I guess.
right. But again, modeling it and saying, you know what, I could benefit from that as well.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
think it's
sure.
super
absolutely.
important. It's giving permission to ourselves because we know we need it. So let them accountability, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I
huge.
didn't get
Yeah.
my exercise today. Hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
know your kids are going to hold you accountable,
Oh
right?
yeah, they are.
They're
They
so
will.
good at that,
They're too good at that. Hey,
right?
you
So that's
said this thing. Like,
Yeah. You
absolutely.
promised.
So
yeah,
let them do that. Let them hold you accountable for those, good things that you know or those things that you know are good for you to
yeah,
do.
Yeah. Right.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. We've had those. Yeah, we've had those conversations.
Well,
Yeah.
we are almost out of time. It's gonna log us out here in a minute.
Yeah,
But I do want to say it's been amazing talking with you.
yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
very
Yeah.
glad that we've had you on.
Thank
You're a
you.
wealth of knowledge and something that we are not knowledgeable
Hey,
about.
I've actually learned a few things that I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to apply some of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for having me. And
Absolutely.
if any of your customers want to come to the Good For You Girls website, the info at it will find me. So if
Okay.
they have
Okay.
questions about their girls or questions about transition or products or things like that, they can certainly reach out to me. I'm there to help.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so
And
much.
we'll throw some of your information out there too when we
Yes.
post everything.
Yep.
So
Terrific.
thank you so much for being here, and hopefully we'll talk to you again sometime.
I hope so. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that'd
Thank
be
you. You have a
great.
good one.
All right. Happy holidays too.
Yeah.
Same to
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving. Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was incredible.
Whoa, what a interview.
We are clearly great at what we do.
The power of editing.
She was very fun to talk to.
She was.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to really like wrap up with her after the fact.
It was a
just
wrap.
went, like cut because the
We do Zoom, so we did a Zoom. We don't have like a license for Zoom, so when you have a free one, you only get 40 minutes. And so the first
Yeah.
few minutes were, we did introductions, which was recorded, obviously, and then afterwards, it's like, and we're done.
yeah, we're like, well, we're gonna have to wrap it up, and then we're about to say like, well, bye, Kimberly, and then just blah, she's gone.
Did they ever respond after you emailed?
Who?
When you emailed them, like, hey, just.
Oh, I don't think yet, but it was like pretty holiday time.
yeah.
So,
But it was a cool interview.
Yeah, she was great to have on, and it was a different perspective. Like we're just two, dads, so we obviously don't have that.
I liked her views on how she talked about just puberty,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and just a different outlook on it.
I
than-
agree. Yeah, she
You know
called
what
it a superpower, which I thought was pretty interesting. And she kind of talked about
Yeah,
her logic behind that, and it's like, yeah, that's true.
and like what was it? Menopause for women. It's like
Yeah.
they're not mad because
Yeah, you guys just heard this. We are thinking back a few days.
Yeah.
But the discussion about how, like, when you go through puberty, you're gaining your hormones, and when you
you're losing them.
you're losing them on the outside. And she's like, it's a beautiful thing, actually.
Yeah, she made it sound really cool, and
Yeah.
it just to like embrace.
Yeah.
in a sense,
Just-
embrace
yeah.
it. Don't. It's not nothing.
What
It's
is
nothing
that,
bad.
What is that prayer? Accept the things that
The Serenity Prayer.
the serenity prayer.
Grant-
grant me the
The serenity to accept the things that I cannot.
I can control.
I don't know.
things
I need
can't.
someone in AA to recite it or something.
Yeah, I'll start drinking so I can remember that one.
I thought about going to AA.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know where around here it is.
Oh,
And then I was like, well, that'd be weird.
yeah. I'm not totally done drinking, but
I'm like, I'm a little pussed right now.
yeah.
just-
I'm sure that's par for the course. But
Yeah.
I hope everybody had a fun holiday.
Yeah.
And now you got a little insight on how to take care of your girls. For us, having your kids around on the holidays, I think is a really cool thing.
It is. It's
Like watching all the cousins get together and like kind of hang out and
yeah. It
do
was
their thing.
It was really cool because like I had like Elena and stuff with me, so it. I think that with like a blended family, sometimes that's like a hard part because there'll be times where it's like, at least when we're in town, it's easier.
Yeah,
You know, Elena can go here and then she go to you guys.
Right.
But when we're out of town, that I feel like that makes it hard
tricky.
because you feel like you kind of miss them when you're there.
Yeah.
Like
right.
if I was out of town and Elena was here, I would have been like, man, it would be nice to have her here. With
Yeah,
us.
it's not quite the same.
But it was cool to have like Alicia's, all her sisters were there with their kids, all the cousins. We had Leo, Sadia, and then Sadia's fiance, Leo, his name's Leo too. He was there, and Yeah, it was a really good time. It was just everyone was there. We're watching football. I was trying to stream it through my phone to the TV because they don't have like an antenna.
Yeah, okay.
So I'd watch football, and I would just talk to Alicia's nephew Isaiah, because he I think him and I are the only ones who are like into sports.
Oh yeah.
So we'll talk about it. He does like betting.
Oh wow.
Every now and then on like DraftKings. But he was showing me some of the bets for like it's called FanDuel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh man, bro, some girl won $1 million. She picked all the right stuff. It was like a parlay kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was a free money because it was like, it was a drawing for, X amount, like $100 or something, and for your chance to win. And she hit everything, and she won $1 million.
Good Lord.
I was like, dang. And then like some of the other bets, it would be like, oh, so-and-so's going to score 2 touchdowns, and this person's going to score a couple touchdowns, and this person's going to like run for 10 yards or whatever. They'd do like a $40 bet, and they'd win like $30,000. I was like, God damn, this makes me want to gamble, buddy.
I heard a report about that, actually, about how it's turning into like micro gambling, where you can gamble on like any aspect of the game.
Oh, it was
wild.
Yeah, because some of it, I'm like,
I'm sure you could probably bet on whether the refs make a bad call.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Quarter of a game.
But the thing with Washington, you can't use it.
Oh really? It's not legal
here.
Yeah.
There's a site I guess you can use that it's illegal to use through it.
Dark
it's
site.
like Bovado or something. No, it's like a legal thing.
Huh.
It's not illegal.
Brought to you by the
dark web.
Imagination.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like in Oregon, they can't use FanDuel, but they can use that DraftKings. And then I was like,
So it's like whatever the state has like deemed.
Yeah, I guess.
An
I tried to do the I'm gonna use a VPN to see if I can bypass this. So because I might do it here, right? And no,
even with that, huh?
it was like we need to know you're human. I'm like, God
Check the
damn, bro.
box. Where's the box? I'll tell you where some lights are.
It looks like this is coming from something different. I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are right. Very smart.
Yes, smart indeed. Yeah.
You foiled me.
I almost got away from it too. They were for you pesky kids.
Yeah. God, I love that. The Scooby-Doo. Dude, they do a supernatural Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah.
I love that one. I just watched it the other day.
You know, the funny thing with Scooby-Doo and Law and Order pretty much follow the same formula, right?
Kind of.
They're investigating.
So Law and Order bit Scooby-Doo?
I'm pretty sure, because Scooby-Doo, they catch the guy, they pull the mask off, and he's like, yeah, this is my entire plan.
Yeah.
He confesses everything, and that's the ending of every Law and Order episode. The guy just spills his guts in the middle of the courtroom. The judge is like, you do not have to speak. He's like, no, I was going to kill her because she was this, and I tried, and,
Because she was just a real bitch. She wouldn't let me.
Oh, I'm angry, and I got a sex problem.
That was that book I was telling you about before the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, he fucking... Yeah, he was fucking a fucking little kid, pretty much, 16. But
but he made it very clear that was not illegal.
It's legal age of consent. Like that's keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. Let's keep getting to the nitty gritty details of where it's okay to have sex with kids. And it's not creepy at all.
I kind of wanted to fact check that.
Yeah.
Because I want to know if that's fucking true.
Why? So it used to be, because I did take like this police class, and for whatever reason, they went over all the different laws and stuff. And at that time, it was true that the age of consent was way younger than you would think. But there are specifics in the law. Like if you're I think if you're anything that has to do with I know teachers and police officers, what do you call those?
Public service?
Yeah, but it's like people with trust, like people in a position where you need to be able to trust them.
Like any adult you should be able to trust?
Different. It's not the same for those individuals. So, which for good reason. I mean,
it shouldn't be. You should be able to trust that my teacher is not going to try to put his finger in my butt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, what are you doing?
Sorry, Mr. Johnson. Who are you for real?
Like, damn, dude, I was just trying to turn in this English homework. What are you doing? I didn't know you was into that. I just been doing squats, bro, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Speaking of squats, me and Alicia worked out when we were over there.
Did you?
I went to the Orange Theory over there in Gresham.
I have not.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I enjoyed that one.
Was it better?
It was better than the ones I've been to.
Is it different than the one that you go to when you're there for work?
Oh, way different.
It's far away.
Yeah, because the one I go for work when I'm in Salem is in Salem, so that's about an hour, a little over an hour away.
Okay, I don't really know Gresham all that well, to be honest.
You know where Troutdale is when you get to the outlets?
Okay, yeah.
It's literally like 2 minutes
right
from
there.
Yeah, you would take like you're going to the outlets.
Yeah.
right there in Troutdale.
Yeah.
And then it's just right up there. But no, it had that same energy like the one we go to.
Nice.
Not the coaches weren't as energetic, but like the energy and the
the music's they use good music. They use clubby kind of music, so you get that rhythm.
This one was cool because he used like a few rock songs, man.
Really?
Some Metallica bust on, but it was like mixes.
Yeah.
With rock. It was cool, man.
Yeah. You just need something with that rhythm, that
Yeah.
rhythmic thing where you can get your body kind of moving to.
I don't need Enya. I don't need to run to that shit. I've already said that before.
Right.
But no, it was cool. But we did we exercised, I think it was that Friday. Or no, we exercised on Thanksgiving, which was nice. And then that Friday we went to go do it was called like a lower 50. It's just legs.
Lower 50.
50 minutes of just leg exercising.
Oh boy.
It was more like a lower 37 minutes, but
Okay.
whatever. But it was a little different. But there were some squats there. That's why I mentioned squats.
Okay.
But it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I have not exercised since. Well, it's been a week.
Well, that's because you school and shit.
Yeah, Monday we worked. I think I was there till like 7:30, so I couldn't.
Oh yeah.
There was no time, and then, man. I was just like, it's holidays. I don't care. But I'll get back to it tomorrow. I think I'm signed up for tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we're
We're going to be
tomorrow.
normal. Back to normal.
I don't
usually
work-
try to do 3-4 times a week.
I don't work tomorrow.
Really? You're off?
Yeah, I took that day off. Well, I thought we were going to be in Oregon longer,
Oh, okay.
which nothing wrong with being in Oregon.
Sure.
I'm glad we weren't.
But it's always, no matter what you do, if you go on vacation to a great place, you want a day to kind of decompress and get yourself back. into
Yeah,
the
and then
swing
I'm
of
gonna
things.
like today at some point I want to go hang Christmas lights and it's
Yeah.
cold as shit out. No, but it was hard to sleep over there.
Wow,
Like
yeah.
it was the whole house is full.
Yeah.
We're on like air up mattresses. The kids are on the floor.
That's right.
The air up mattress, not the most comfy thing.
Yeah.
It's the one we used when we were living at your guys' place for that short period.
Okay, yeah.
But we just minus the foam top, which makes it 1,000 times better.
Uh-huh.
But oh my god, my back has been killing me already for a while.
Yeah. Did you get that?
Yeah, I go to a chiropractor tomorrow,
Okay, nice.
so we'll see how that is.
It'll be good, man. It'll be good.
His name's Paul the chiropractor.
Paul.
See, he's gonna crack me, or I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna just be like, okay, I'll come back next week.
He'll crack you, and then he might ask you to come back one more time. That's usually.
I hope so.
If I'm really stuck, because you can feel it when you're just stuck. And
Do you ever fart when you get cracked?
I haven't, but I can definitely see because there are
afraid.
times that they get you, and I mean it's pressure, man.
I can see it.
If it's got you,
I'll listen to this. I'll watch these videos with this chiropractor guy, Dr. Tyler, and he'll say that. It's okay if you fart.
Yeah, I mean, like, truly.
he'll call him out or something.
well, because I mean, they get you in positions. Be ready to be vulnerable. Like, I've been cradled.
Dr.
several times.
Paul,
Yeah, your arms are so strong.
hold me
But,
tighter.
Yeah, like literally, he will like wrap his arms around me sometimes, and they do something, and it pops something. But it's
Why are my legs on your shoulders?
Is your tongue supposed to do that?
How are you gonna crack that? You know which one looks weird, and I don't want that crack. Is when they grab your butthole and pop it. Have you ever seen that? Like they get like the tailbone, and
I
they're
have
like.
never had that. I don't need that. I would be like, no, we're good. We're
But
good.
why is your finger? You don't need that, right?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Isn't
Actually,
that what
we gotta
Larry
grab
Nassar
it.
Went to jail for
Who?
Larry Nassar, the
Oh, probably yeah.
right doctor.
Wait, which one's he?
He's the one.
the
The
600-pound
gymnast-
dude?
No, the gymnast guy.
Oh,
He was not. He wasn't a gymnast, but he was the
Yeah.
doctor for that university.
That's
that
right.
Went to prison for.
for touching.
Yeah, he
touching
like
on him.
wouldn't wear gloves and would be like, "You have to put
Yeah, that's
your
right.
fingers there."
Yeah, this one though, I've seen it on like videos where they'll like pop the butt.
I've never needed that. But no, when your back is like stuck, there are a few that are wild, man. And when they get your neck,
I'm scared.
And you
of that.
feel it really pop. I mean, but that relief afterwards.
I'm scared of that. I'm not.
But you might need to go in once. Like you go in once, and it will unlock it probably like 70%, and then you go back a second time usually, and it'll unlock it that final amount, and then it's just.
It feels great.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, like I've walked in there not being able to hardly walk.
Luckily,
and
I
left. Like, oh yeah, and then you kind of feel it go back a little bit.
I thought there was more.
You bastard!
It felt like there was something.
And then, yeah, man, it's worth it. They always say like, oh, chiropractors, they're just trying to get you to come back.
I hear that all the time.
It's not true. It's not true. I go back, like if I ever need it, and it's years in between.
Yeah.
It's just like if something happens, my muscles are tired, and I throw something.
I can understand if you have like chronic back issues where you need to go back a lot, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just find it to be not true that it doesn't help.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I think it. I call it magical.
It's going to be in the morning too.
Yeah.
I think I have to be there by 8:50, something like that. I don't know. I have to look on my
You're
paper.
working out again?
In the morning, yeah. 6 in the morning.
You guys go pretty much every day.
Yeah. We go Monday through Saturday.
That's insane.
But this week we kind of, like I said, that lower 50, you don't get
How do you not burn yourself out?
you don't get splat points and stuff. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
I'm already up in the morning, so it's not like it's
Yeah,
It's
I
like
just get that.
so I look at it like this. When I go to the gym, or when me and Alicia go to the gym, it's like that's our time.
Yeah.
We have that hour for us.
Sure.
It kind of gets my day rolling.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And then I come home, get ready for work.
But you
do my thing.
you don't have days where your muscles just feel like I don't have it in me today. Like,
Oh,
I
there's
can't
days where I'm like, I don't want to go, but those are the days where I'm like, I fucking better. Like Mondays are tough. Sometimes the weekends are actually tough, like Saturdays are sometimes tough. But that's why we go in like almost at 9 because it gives us that time to kind of sleep in.
Right.
But yeah, no, I haven't got to the point where I'm like,
But once you're in there and you're moving, like, because
Yeah.
I've had some days where it's like my muscles were sore enough, it was very difficult.
in the
to
beginning,
get
my
anything
muscles
going.
were like that.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I go so much that it's not as much. It's only when I'm like,
Gotcha.
I'm nursing my calf.
Okay.
My calf's been weird for a while.
Yeah.
But that's actually been much better. Nice. I've been, I put on my old man cream, or I'll use the fucking little vibrator
Bang,
machine. I'm like, babe,
The compact.
where's the gun?
Yeah.
I'm just going to use your dildo real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably the same, pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it is. She doesn't have one of those. Well, she probably does, but Anyway, spilling the beans.
Holidays, let me tell you.
But no, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool being out there, and I'm looking forward to Christmas. And we're gonna actually be doing Christmas here at our house, but I think we're gonna be trying to do it around the 20th because her sister and stuff, they have to go back to work basically the next day.
Oh.
And I have to work the next day. I have to go back to Toppenish the next
So
day.
they're coming over here beforehand.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you do with your parents
Yeah,
in a sense
yeah,
like that.
right.
So we're gonna do that.
That makes it kind of fun. You get more in the holiday season.
I guess, but I got fucking 2 weeks to get some shopping done.
It's crazy, I know. Like the 3 weeks, it's kind of crazy because, like, yeah, I'm used to now, like, these half days and stuff, and then we're gonna go to 3 solid weeks, which is actually pretty nice.
But it's weird
to the swing of things.
Why is it when Halloween hits, Christmas comes the next day?
Like in the stores, or just
Like in real life, it feels like we were just celebrating Halloween, and now
dude,
it's gonna be Christmas.
Insane. And then I used to not look forward to winter. I'd get all down after Christmas, but I'm realizing maybe it's just age, but winter goes so fast, and it's over, and then it's spring, and then spring's over, and then it's summer, and then summer's over, and it's just
I'm
we
dead.
die. I know. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
But I love this time of year. We already got the house all decorated, and we got the tree up and decorated last night.
Oh, did you guys?
I'm gonna pack the kids' little. They have little advent calendars. I bought them like the cardboard ones that you open up, and then we have the
little chocolates.
the little like wood ones that they sell at the craft store or whatever.
Yeah, we had one. We have one of those floating around somewhere.
They got all those. Cody the elf came back. He's on a shelf.
Yeah, Bippy, he came back last night.
Nice. I mean, it's just good times, man. Good times.
It really is.
The kids enjoy it. Elliot's at an age where it's like, I'm pretty sure he knows Santa's little secret, but there's been no acknowledgement.
JJ's had questions.
So it's like, it kind of, yeah.
The kids keep it alive for him right now.
Yeah, and there's that age where you don't want to know Santa's little secret, but you do. But you just like,
Yeah, it's gonna come.
So,
which is sad.
It is, because they're the last ones.
I know.
I got my nephew Jack.
Well, see, you got like your nephews, but like for us,
that's about it. Because Harper's not that much younger than Elliot, so.
It's just like, oh no.
I know.
I'm trying to think. Wait, I think I was around the 5th grade when I probably stopped believing.
Yeah, I was 3rd grade because I remember a kid mentioned something, and I was like, oh. Yeah,
actually, I don't know when it was. Last year, maybe.
I think it just is whenever your friends start to talk about it.
I don't know. But yeah. No, I don't believe in him either.
Yeah, Blanca tricks me every year. Where all this come from? She was a little weirded out the first year we were together when I sat at the fireplace. I'm going to stay up all night.
Just wait. I've done things where I've done things where I've like I move things out of the coming from the fireplace. I wreck things out of the way, and then I like put boot marks or dirt. Or something. I've done that.
Yeah.
And then I fucking inhale all the cookies.
Yeah. Santa's got to eat them cookies and drink that milk. Don't matter how much food Santa already had
Santa's
at the
a
holiday
diabetic.
party. Yeah, I can't wait to do the Christmas Eve party. We do a Christmas Eve party at the house every year.
We got it. I wonder if I'll put our tree up today. Yeah. I know, like I said, we just got home. Yes, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. And so me and Alicia right away, we came home, unpacked, and then we had to leave because we got a quarter of a cow.
Oh yeah.
So she went in with some lady. I don't know how she met this lady or how that happened, but basically she bought half a cow from. They went half on a half, so they each got a quarter. And so that meat was actually ready. She got the call, and I was like, fuck, well, we need a freezer. We ain't going to be able to fit all this in. So we had to go to Fred's Appliances.
And buy
only appliances.
Oh,
and
appliances.
That's their commercial. Yeah. And we bought a chest freezer, which
Fred's, you owe some money now. That was a pretty good.
Yeah, we plugged it. They're super, you know what? In all honesty, they're actually very, very helpful people.
Nice.
They're not like pushy. We've been there. I actually we got our washer and dryer.
They got some nice stuff in there.
Fuck, bro.
Fred's Appliances.
Only appliances.
If you live in the Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, or Kennewick area,
they have this fridge there. It's like a double-doored fridge, but a huge like.
Oh, is it like the industrial kitchen?
I'm like one side's the one side's a freezer, which is the size of my fridge now.
Yeah, right.
And the other one's just the fridge, which is the size of my fridge. So it's like it would fit in our pantry, but it would just be our pantry. It would take
the entire pantry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, those things are insane.
I was like, dude, this would be nice though. I don't know why.
I forget what they call them, but yeah, they're like a super high.
I wouldn't mind like I love that when you see those like fancy homes where it's like it all looks the same, and it's like there's this hidden door that's the fridge.
Yeah, like, oh, there's another cabinet. No, it's a fridge.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
Right.
Hell
I know.
I would love that.
It's kind of like how the RVs are, like they make the, the faux wood front.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me get into my mini fridge.
Bucket's ex brother-in-law, he redid the inside of his little fifth wheel, and man, that was one of the nicest ones. They had like hardwood floors and shit. Dang. It had the pop, how it pops out and stuff. It was pretty nice, man. Looked like a little living room in there and stuff. It was cool.
Awesome. Yeah, fifth wheels. I really like the floor plans of fifth wheels.
Yeah, it was nice.
So we had a question of the week. We were talking about, and hopefully we haven't discussed this before, but the question: how do you ensure that all children feel equally loved and included, whether they're your biological kids or your kids through marriage?
Ooh, that's a good question, because that is a tough one, especially when you're first getting into the relationship, because you haven't really built that that relationship with your stepkids. Like for me, it was hard, and then wouldn't want to like be too lovey-dovey because I felt like I would, I don't want them to.
Because you don't want to be coming across as like, hey, 16's legal.
Well, no. I just don't want it to seem like, why are you giving all the attention to, my own daughter, which obviously I should, right?
Yeah, right.
But then it's like, I don't want the kids to feel like, well, he doesn't like me or something.
Right.
So it's like, there's this relationship that I think over time it builds, but you can find ways to show them love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Just maybe hanging out with them, talking to them. And then like me and Cheeky will, we've come to the point where we'll say I love you obviously and stuff. Right. And then I can hug her and I don't feel like there was this time where it was like, if I was hugging Cheeky or Saudi or someone, that I felt guilty, like Elena's looking like, well, you don't hug me,
Gotcha.
Trying to balance that for me was, I think, probably one of the harder things, was trying to do that. But now, like, that's kind of like, now they're just my daughters.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Right.
One is more, lovey-dovey in the sense of, affection in that sense of like hugs.
She needs like physical.
Yeah. And I don't mind doing that. And so that guilt's not there, but like, I like to hug my kids. And so I'm, like I'll just go up to Elena sometimes and I'll just give her a hug.
Yeah.
And just, tell her I love her, and I'll, do the same to Cheeky. And I don't know. I feel like there is a balancing act in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, especially if you have, more than one kid, obviously.
Yeah. You know a lot more from experience than I do. I mean, Elena was my only kid.
Yeah.
I met Blanca and Elena was 3.5. So I was able to just include Elena.
Yeah.
We would
and that's
take her
it.
to the park. So our dates a lot of times were just like Elena centric,
Yeah. And there was times where it was, me and Alicia went to Spokane one time, and it was, I think the other kids, they were at their dad's, and so I had Elena that weekend, so we took Elena with us. And, we try to include her in those sense, just to kind of like bring her into
right. You kind of build that family. It is trickier, with teenage kids that we've talked about that before, and I think you're definitely right about there being different phases of that relationship. Just projecting that openness to that child.
Yeah.
From the beginning, and not pushing something that's not authentic. You're not going to go in hot like, "Hey, I'm the dad.
I'm your dad. Come here, give daddy some sugar.
Some sugar. It's legal. Come on."
That'd be like
goddamn book. For those of you just tuning in, we're discussing a book. Yeah.
But it was weird. It was tough at the beginning. Just because, like I said, it was just, I didn't want to have one kid feel more loved than the other, because I love them both, obviously. Right. And you already
for you, it was more of an internal struggle, because
sure.
If you gave Cheeky a hug, Elena's not really going to care, but you felt like, she's watching me, now I have to go give her a hug.
Yeah,
I got to make sure it's like completely balanced.
Yeah. So like, I still do this part. If I'm gonna go to the store and buy someone something, I always make sure I have to buy each kid something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I always have this guilt about,
gotcha.
Like, oh, why'd you get them chips but not me chips?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
You hate me, don't you?
Yeah. So like, even like if Elliot's here, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just always have that. I think that's something I grew up with. Like, I would hate to see, like, you go to someone's house and you'd see them open the presents, and you're like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like, I remember we'd go to my Uncle Jeff's house, and his, when he had his kids there, like, they'd open the gifts, and we were just sitting there like, okay, this is weird. Like, why don't you guys fucking do this before we got here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this. They got this cool thing. I'm like, God damn, I just got a tennis racket, bro. Like, what am I going to do with the tennis? I don't even play tennis.
Thanks.
Yeah, because when we get like the adopted family thing, like we'd get some just random gifts.
Random stuff.
I'm like, okay.
That
I mean, I appreciate it, but like, but yeah, it was always weird to see that. So I always like to make sure all the kids feel included.
Right.
In that sense, absolutely. With certain things.
Well, I think too with those older kids, like you get those opportunities to show up, and that's the stuff over time when you've been there long enough, and you build that relationship, and they're naturally going to kind of trust you at some point if you've been there consistently enough. So that's where you build that relationship, and when you get comfortable and they're like your kid, it does ease a lot of tension.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that is that partner piece, and we've talked about that before. You know, does your partner allow you to be a parent figure? Is there weirdness there? Like,
Yeah.
You know, do they get defensive if you have to be hard on the kid?
And I think that's the hard part is like letting go of that control, right? And having your partner or you allowing your partner to be that parent.
Right. Right.
Alicia is very motherly. So she, you know, I always felt comfortable just letting go to allow her to, even with Elena, hey, don't be doing that or, you know, whatever.
Right.
Or whatnot, because I'm like, all right. And so, but I know for her, sometimes that struggle is a little different when it's, you know, like when Mama Bear comes out, moms, they're protective. So when even dads are like, you know, get stern, they're like, hey, don't you talk to my boy like that. And you're like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just let go. Just control, man. I don't know.
Nah,
but
you gotta smack them kids around. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes, you do.
That's a bad thing.
It is. So stupid. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we got this week.
That's it, man. We'll be back next weekend, and we are heading into that holiday season. So enjoy yourselves, enjoy your family, your bio kids, your non-bio kids, your chosen
foster
children,
kids, or
whatever family you got, man. You take pride in that.
Yeah.
And you cherish it.
For sure.
You make it yours. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good week.
Take care, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come all back. You hear?
All right.